Welcome to No Strings Attached, untangling conversations about shady topics. Hosted by Roger Magalhaes, this podcast pulls back the curtain on the window covering industry with expert insights and a splash of Brazilian flair. Whether you're an installer, designer, dealer, or just fed up with crooked blinds, get ready for real tips, industry know-how, and plenty of laughs. Now, let's get untangled.
Hello. Welcome to another show of No Strings Attached. My name is Roger Magalhaes, and I am your host. If this is your first time here, welcome to the show. And if you already been here before, welcome back. Today, we are going to talk about orange frames and furniture shopping. Today's show is based on my recent blog called The Same, that I share with my clients through my Blind Audacity newsletter. This has nothing to do with window shades. It's just the way I share personal stories with my clients to create a bond. So if you follow me for a while, you know that I'm a big fan of the color orange. It wasn't always like that, but since I started my business about 20 years ago and I picked orange as the primary color, it has grown on me to like it to the point that it became my favorite color. So I wear orange sneakers, I wear orange bandanas, I have a phone with orange casing. I have details on my wallet. They are orange. Obviously, my website, my business card, my logo, everything has a little bit of orange. But at the beginning of the month, I went to BJ's to shop for new glasses. Thanks to Father Time, in 52 years of being around here, eyesight is something that started to go down. So as I was looking at frames, this one stood out, big, bright orange. And then I said, well, that's a nice one. And I said, it's a little bit too much. I don't think I want to do that. But then there was this promotion, a BOGO, buy one, get one half price off. And I started thinking, and I said, well, maybe if I get a second pair, I may use these on networking events and kind of create a little buzz and kind of, bring a little bit of attention, and perhaps when you introduce yourself to someone, that might be the trigger point that people going to remember you later on. So as much as I like it, and it is something that I'm not going to use every day, there's a little bit of marketing using these on certain occasions. The same way, I think that, as I said, orange was something that grew over time. I also think that people doesn't really change. They just evolve. If you're happy when you're young, you're going to be happy when you're older. When you see kind of cranky people, you think, well, this guy, it's because he's old, he's like that. And Anna and myself, we disagree. We just think people evolved, and if they were nice and, helping others and all of that at a young age, they are going to continue to be like that and be even happier and so on and so forth. And the same way happens if they're bad or kind of on a bad mood and all of that negative, way, they are going to continue to be like that. I had a boss back in Brazil that no matter what, that guy was so negative. you couldn't even get close to him. And no matter what you did, no matter, how you approach, there was always something negative about it. So I kept distance as much as I could, and life went on because I don't want to be attracted to people like that. It's just nature. So the key point is the real tricky is how you evolved, and obviously not going to be the same old all the time. There's a reason why we have a life. The life is to evolve. It's not just to stay in the same spot all the time. But the tricky part is, how can you evolve without losing your edge, without losing your core? So I got that lesson, that's more or less how I think. And then I went to see Metallica live in Tampa 3 weeks ago. And then I got a master class on the same subject. Just stick with me here for a second. Those guys, they are legends. I don't know if you follow Metallica. I don't know if you are into heavy metal or anything like that. But just hear the facts. It's a band, a rock and roll band that has been on the road for 43 years. It is a long time. Very long time, especially in the show business. So they already filthy rich. They sold billions of money, overtime, stadiums. They go all over the world. They are just famous. Period. So when you go to a show like that, a concert like that, they could just have a attitude. We are legends. We demand these. Gotta be our way. We don't care how much you pay to come here. You could expect something like that. And I have seen bands going to Brazil and make kind of stupid demands, like I want 3,000 white bath towels in our rooms, blah, blah, blah. Kind of stupid thing just because they're famous. They let the fame go through their head. That wasn't Metallica. They just came to the stadium. They play like it was their first concert. Obviously, it's 43 years later. They don't have the same shape, but they still have a ton of energy. So they play, they interact with the people, they interact with everyone in the stadium. They thanked everyone for showing up. They asked them to raise hands, how many times they have been to a show, if there was their first time, all the whole nine. And then, just a little bit of extra bonus. They have these round stage so everybody could see, no matter how much you pay for your ticket, you still have a good view of the entire concert. And just a chair on top of the whole pie, they had something unexpected. Every 30 minutes or so, the lights went totally blackout. And then on the background, nobody knew that. They just moved the drum set 4 times around the whole circumference of the stage. So then the lights go back on. Everybody realized what happened. And whoever didn't have a good spot, now they have a better view how the band is playing. Something just out of the blue, extra bonus, something really nice. So the bottom line here, Metallica could be big legends, big attitude. They're not. They're just humans interacting with their fans, bringing something different, keeping on the edge. At the same time, when the show was over, they stayed over for over 30 minutes, bowing, thanking everyone. Just nice, kind, human. And that's pretty much my lesson from growing old, but still keeping the edge. 2 weeks after that show, that still sticks in my mind, I went on a different tour. It was a furniture shopping tour. If you know or don't, we got hit by hurricanes last year. And until to this point, we didn't have furniture at the home. We just completed renovation. We just got the settlement check from the insurance. So it was time to go and get some furniture to our house again. So because I'm in the custom window treatment business, I just went and took measurements, sketched it up, all the rooms, took spacing, and put everything on paper, right? So make life easier. Shopped 3 stores, ended up at the last one. Me and Anna decided to compromise a couple things and say, let's buy everything out of the same place. So a few loops around the whole showroom, picking, choosing, changing. We decided on a few things. We got the whole thing done. We're happy, got home, and then I realized, oh crap, I think I made a mistake on the sofa. As much as we love the sofa, I was reading the wrong measurement. Instead of reading the wall size measurement, I was reading the entire width of the room dimension. And obviously, the sofa did fit inside the width of the room, but obviously it was a little bit too big. And although it would have fit, it wouldn't be exactly proportional. So this was Saturday, late afternoon when we got home. I said, I think we need to go back to the store tomorrow and, see if we can exchange, embrace for impact. We're probably going to get a lot of hard time, all of this baloney that we know how it works. So went back. People just, oh, welcome back. You need more furniture? And I say, actually, I made a mistake. I look at the wrong thing. We need to exchange a couple things there, make it fit. It's, oh, no problem. You're not the first one. Let's make it happen. And I was kind of taken by surprise because I didn't expect that. And it was actually a very pleasant experience. So I am in a custom business. I sell custom window covering. A lot of my friends, we see on Facebook groups, I don't care. They pay. They knew it was custom. I'm not going to take it back. I'm not going to loss. I'm not take a loss. So I'm different. As much as I don't like to lose money, that is not exactly how I treat my clients. Because let's be honest, you'd rather make $500 or lose a client and potential work that could come down the road. I have a ton of great reviews because I make sure my clients are happy. Even when I lose money, I don't lose a client. That's just customer service 101. That's how I was brought up. That's how Anna is. We just appreciate the opportunity to serve a client. Obviously, not every client is going to be pleased, but we walk away and, we cut our losses and we move on. So through the furniture experience, I just felt similar to that because I try not to give a hard time to my clients. And the experience that just gave me the reassurance that we should care about the way we do business. So I leave you with this thought. Would it would you rather make more money, get a client pissed, and never see the opportunity from these client and potential friends and all? Or you rather lose a little bit of money, treat them well, try to fix as best as possible, and no promises, but potentially get more business down the road? I'd rather stay with the second versus, make the money and never see a potential again. So that's pretty much me. I hope you got something out of these. And if you want to see how my orange frames look, you can check my profile on Facebook. You can also read this newsletter version, the written one, that I'll put a link below. Until next time, thanks for listening, and I'll catch you then. Bye now.
That's a wrap for this episode of No Strings Attached, untangling conversations about shady topics. If you enjoyed today's discussion, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share this podcast with fellow industry pros and window treatment enthusiasts. For more expert insights, follow Roger on social media and visit Shades in Place at www.shadesinplace.com. Thanks for listening. Until next time, keep your shades stylish and your conversations shady.